It's a strange conundrum that Hollywood is finding itself in. It's something that I pointed out whenever I do the media coverage side of this stuff. They've been trapped in the same cycle for a very, very long time, doing adaptations, remakes, sequels, prequels, whatever quels after that. There hasn't been an original thought coming from Western cinema in a very, very long time. And the way that it's categorized by our good friend Johnny Olensky here, Hollywood is stuck making the same lame movies over and over again. He's going to make some very good points when it comes to this stuff, but I got a little bit of an addendum to make on this very topic. Because it's not so much that you're retreading old ground over and over again, it's that you're not doing it very well. And that's a big point that has just recently been so overwhelmingly reinforced. So, over the past few weeks, Hollywood has announced major new project after major new project. Yeah, the thing is, they're all old. Literally. Warner Brothers said to have closed the deal on a 7-season TV series adaptation of the Harry Potter books. Yeah, I'm sure that's going to be wonderful and fantastic. Try to disassociate yourself from J.K. Rowling, but then at the same time, she still owns all the rights to it. But she is, for all intents and purposes, just as much of a feminist as any of the most radical ones that you can hear from online, anywhere across the spectrum. She just draws a line in the sand. One specific issue, one that's fairly popular in the current zeitgeist right now. So she's verboten, even though they agree with her on 99% of topics. But I'm sure, yeah, it is HBO, and I guess it would be, right? Because it's going to be Warner Brothers. It could be good, it could be bad, it could be, well, the source material is kind of hack to begin with. And I love me the Harry Potter films. It's just really tough. The first two are kind of ass cancer, and I kind of waffle on the third one, but everything after that's pretty decent. So, Disney is planning a live-action version of the musical cartoon Moana. Yeah, literally, the Moana film that just came out in 2016, they're doing a live-action remake of it. It's like, okay, have they pilfered their back catalog that fully that they got to go back to Moana? Okay, just because they can cast The Rock in it, who provided a voice, and like The Rock, after just recently having a couple of gigantic flops in Jungle Cruise, which was also under the Disney banner, and Black Adam, which was basically killed any hope that there was going to be for a renaissance for the Snyderverse-ish DC films. So yeah, they're just going to staple him onto a project that's bound to fail because you're going to find a way to ruin one of the last good Disney films. That's what people tell me all the time. It's one of the last ones that just has an apolitical message. But yeah, it's from back in 2016, so still has a girl boss in it, but they're just going to ratchet that up to 25 because that's the only thing that they know what to do with. And in the galaxy far, far away, yeah, this is one where I know a lot of people are going to make money off this stuff. I just don't like Star Wars like that. Like, I remember the first one that I remember seeing was Return of the Jedi, and it's like, yeah, it's fine. And then I went back and I filled in the gaps. I watched the prequels, I watched the original trilogy, and I was good with that. I've got the first Blu-ray release over there. That's the copy that I have, and I think I have what's the is it The Force Awakens? Yeah, I have a copy of it. I've never watched it. It's like Star Wars. I understand why it was popping back in the day, and I can understand why people were excited about seeing it again on the big screen, but it's not for me. I can't even pretend to give a shit about Star Wars at all whatsoever. I think the commentary about Star Wars is more entertaining than Star Wars itself. And especially when it comes to the sequel shit, like, I'm good. I'm never going to watch any of that crap because, well, I've seen it played out multiple different times from various different aspects and a multitude of different reviews. And regardless if it's people that like certain films in the sequel trilogy or they completely detest the entire swath, the one thing that is consistent is Daisy Ridley cannot act her way out of a wet paper bag. So the fact that she's going to be brought back out of the actually much more talented cast that she had around her, well, it speaks to the fact that Hollywood executives are completely out of touch. They know exactly what works. You don't even have to go that far into the past, because if you go too far, they're just going to pilfer those for all the ideas. But what is working right now? What is incredibly working, right? Because since everything opened back up, right? Like it ever really needed to close in the beginning. But what are your big tentpole films that have been wildly successful? Okay, so you've had $4 billion films so far. Like the first one to crack $1 billion, Spider-Man No Way Home. No, was that with yeah, I think it was called No Way Home, right? I haven't watched it or anything like that, but it brought back all the old spoilers. It brought back all of the old iterations of Spider-Man that people liked, and didn't shit on the characters. It held them up to a certain level, didn't allow them to overpower the current Spider-Man that they have out there. And again, I've just watched reviews of this stuff, haven't watched it or anything like that. It didn't disrespect what they're doing right now. And then it also paid homage to the old source material of the old films that are 20 and 15 years old at this point. And that film made over $1 billion. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Oh, maybe that's just a one-off. Oh, no, that's just a whole bunch of e-jangling tactics. It's like, I don't know, man. You respect what you built on, and then you just create something better on top of it. Well, okay. And then you take a look at Top Gun Maverick. I know everybody talks about it. Okay, it's the old go-to. It's like, that's what Hollywood should be doing. Well, you can take aspects of it and you can take a look at what works and maybe try to craft your message going forward off the back of that. It's a sequel to a 40-year-old film. And what did it do? Stayed apolitical, focused on what is incredibly cool, fighter pilots, okay, and loving America and having likable people in roles, okay? So what did Hollywood take away from that? It's nice that Tom Cruise finally got $1 billion movie. Fantastic. And then he had Avatar, which it's hilarious. That's the biggest grossing film, okay? And there's a sequel that's going to be coming up at the end of the year. I think it's called The Seed Swallower or something. It's atrocious, okay? And I remember watching the first Avatar film in 2009. Yeah, it came out that long ago. Watched it once and was like, visually interesting. Don't remember anything about it. Same with everybody else. But yeah, that came out 5 months ago. 5 months. It's April right now. That came out Christmas Day, I think, or just right before Christmas. It made over $2 billion. Nobody's talking about it. Okay, not good, not bad. It's just nobody cares. But it made a lot of money. And what could you learn from that? You don't have to have a long-lasting message when it comes to your escapism. If you can plunk somebody down in front of a screen, keep them mildly entertained for 3 hours, they will come. They will come. Hopefully not in the popcorn. That requires a pocket knife and a willing participant or two. But now we have another one on the horizon. And what is Hollywood going to learn from that? Well, we need more adaptations, bro. The Super Mario Brothers film. It's like, okay, it was well cast. Like, it has aspects of what has made the previous post-pandemic films so successful. Okay, a multi-generational intellectual property, all right, check. Casting of some people that have goodwill in certain circles, check there, right? And that's across the ideological spectrum, right? Because I think Jack Black is Bowser, or I don't know, man, but I know Chris Pratt is Mario, and even though he caught some shit in the beginning, he seemed genuine about being excited playing the role of Mario, even though everybody's saying, well, why don't you just get the voice of Mario? It's still going to be a cartoon. That's fucking weird. And then to also have some of the clips come out, and it's like, oh my God, is what, Peach going to be a girl boss or something like that? And, well, you do have old source material to pull from that, where, yeah, she can be on equal footing, or maybe even being OP if you just take a look at old Super Mario Brothers 2, or given the fact that there's, cat suits and shit like that, like that's a legitimate power up from Super Mario Brothers, New Super Mario World 3D is the Wii U game, okay? Like, I had it on the Wii U. That's the first thing that it came out on, okay? But unlike the 1993 film, which came out, I would have been 3 at the time when it came out. I didn't watch it, okay? And it has nothing but disdain and also some kind of weird warped nostalgia for it at the same time. Like, it's a total train wreck. Bob Hoskins, until his dying day, had nothing but terrible things to say about it and never wanted to talk about it. And your co-lead is John Leguizamo, which, when was the last time he was in anything that was above? He's such an enigma in Hollywood. Like, you don't find that with today's actors. It's like either they're, A-tier stars, or they just don't exist. You don't have somebody who is just famous for being in movies, but you can't cite like a breakout role that he had, okay? Like Leguizamo, you know his name, you've seen him around, he's recognizable. He's a total shitbag, but he's in that same category that you'd put guys like Andy Dick, Pauly Shore. They're just simply famous for being around in the right place at the right time, knowing the right things to blackmail producers with in order to get roles. Like, you can't explain it because they aren't talented. They aren't necessarily funny. Some of their circumstances are funny, but how the fuck did they get there? But we'll get into more of his criticisms and how there is such a disconnect when it comes to the people of Hollywood to the consumers of Hollywood, because sometimes people just want to check out. People just like some media for a minute and then they just go back to their productive life, okay? And I've said this multiple times, and I know that it's not my saying or anything, but I've adopted it as well. Success leaves clues, and so does failure. We've seen multiple failures over and over and over again. Ant-Man, Quantumania, and Wasp and all that shit. That just came out not that long ago. Who's talking about that? Nobody. Black Panther, remember that had a sequel? Yeah, exactly. Any other MCU film that wasn't Spider-Man? There was a whole host of them. All of the TV shows, like, which are the ones that you actually remember? The Last of Us, well, that was an adaptation, and people liked it, and people watched it. Okay. House of the Dragon, which is also kind of funny, and kind of a reason why I wanted to do this video here specifically, but I also had a lot of things to say about media in general. But shout out to everybody who tuned in yesterday, completely off the cuff stream, where I just ranked all of the Game of Thrones characters exclusively on Rumble. We were listening to Sabaton's great tour in the background at the same time. It was a hell of a lot of fun. Shout out to you guys for that. And that was just also me just getting a lot of my frustrations when it comes to Game of Thrones off my chest, because it started out, and I know it's a story everybody tells when it comes to Game of Thrones, it started off really good. I wouldn't go that far as to say it's like I've seen a lot better stuff than that, but then it just descends into abject girl bossery and falls right the hell apart. But I go through everything over there in like a 3-hour long live stream. God, that was so much fun. And also, surveying the media coverage sphere on YouTube and Rumble and all those places, there is a lack of content that provides substance and will actually break things down in long form on a consistent basis. So every once in a while, obviously on YouTube, the algorithm, which likes to shadow ban some videos, even if they're on the exact same topic, and then let another one go. Just check all of the Bud Light stuff that I've done in previous days, and it's like some of them just absolutely get kneecapped, and then other ones just go straight to the moon. It's so weird, but over on Rumble, I can at least experiment, not like that, a little bit more freely. So I want to do some more of those media, just nonsensical. If you want to call it escapism, it's just more or less me getting some value off of stuff that I know fairly well, but don't really have a place to vent on that. So I want to do some more tier lists. Might do one for Attack on Titan, because I have watched that stuff and I just have no way to really talk about it or integrate it into this type of coverage, and also figure out what to do with wrestling, because I have such a vast knowledge when it comes to that stuff and such a long storied history. We need to figure out something to do, but that'll be exclusively over on Rumble. I encourage you guys to hop on over there, because I can say all the fun words that are over there. But that's what people want. That's what people want in their entertainment. And I found that out, because it had, like, the live stream itself, like, I know, for me, it's good numbers. Okay, 400 for absolutely zero marketing outside of one shout out at the end of the video yesterday. 400 plus views over the not even a day yet has passed. People want to be entertained. They don't want to be preached to. And that's what you can find with all of these gigantic success stories in Hollywood right now. The writing is on the wall. Hollywood knows exactly what the people want, but they refuse to capitulate, and they refuse to say that they were wrong. They're just going to tell you, no, you're a bigot, you're stupid, you don't understand our struggle. Makes a lot of sense, right? So, Super Mario Brothers movie, box office, all the records smashed on opening weekend, despite critical disdain. Like, if you've seen the compare and contrast, and I know it's not the best metric or anything, but the Rotten Tomatoes score, what is it? I think it's less than 50%. Like, the critics, the big brains out there hate it. I think probably the worst one that I seen was very own CTV with their little stupid blurb. The Super Mario Brothers movie, I'll be paraphrasing it, but I'll be getting all of the major points correct. The Super Mario Brothers movie has all the charm of an unplugged Game Boy. If you guys don't know, Game Boy popularized, it wasn't the first, but it did popularize portable gaming. You never needed to plug it in. Sure, there are adapters, and yes, I had one for my Game Boy Color. I had the ice blue one, and I still remember that old ad that was out there, but that was my first Game Boy, and they ran on batteries. The big brick that ran on 4AA, you don't have to plug it in. But that's how, again, the critic class, the Hollywood, the producer class, they don't know what the people want, and because they are so hubristic, they think all of these years of just leering down at you down their nose, just telling you how pathetic and stupid you are. Now the people are starting to look around, maybe open up their eyes a bit, start to realize that, all your messaging, it got a step just a little bit too far. Either it's people wanting to take their families and not have to be indoctrinated by people saying that, oh, it'd be so great if we were just all gay and chopped off our genitalia. It's like, no, that would be fine. Parents of today grew up on the Super Mario Brothers, and it's like, oh, this should be fun. And guess what? It was like a 90-minute movie, 92 minutes or something runtime. Perfect, because all of these films, all of the big blockbusters, if you will, they're just so bloated. And every Marvel movie now is over 2.5 hours. Nobody wants to sit there for that long, unless, and I think the Spooderman is only like a shade over 2 hours long. But even with the success of Avatar, if you make something compelling, if you give people a reason to go and you don't give them any reason to avoid your film, they'll go see it. It's a pretty simple system that you have right there at your disposal. You have all the tools available. Hell, a plumbing wrench and a plunger if you'd like, but are they going to heed the call? Well, I think we already know. So the Super Mario Brothers movie, an animated adventure based on the classic video game, crushed the competition with its jaw-dropping $204.6 million domestic box office. Bruh, that is ridiculous. I'm pretty sure that's got to be the record. Maybe Avatar is the only one that's bigger domestically since opening up. Like, I don't think anything's close. And 377 million global debut over the long Easter weekend. Yeah, and there are some big markets that still haven't opened. Like, Japan still hasn't opened for a fucking Mario movie. Bruh. Those results far exceeded expectations. Yeah, because some people were thinking, it's like, this will probably do good, but that much money? It's on its way to make $1 billion. Okay, very much so. It even surpassed the start of recent installments in Universal's biggest franchise, like Jurassic Turd. Oh my god, there's one good Jurassic Park film. $145 million domestically. That one came out... Ooh, when did that one come out? I can't quite remember. And again, they're just all so forgettable. But then that also had Chris Pratt in it as well. So is Chris Pratt on that level now? Is he like a blockbuster superstar? Has anybody really addressed this? Because he's also in Guardians of the Galaxy, probably the last Marvel film that anybody's really looking forward to and saying that it's got a chance to be good. Probably not. It's probably not going to be great, but it might be all right. And Fast 9. Oh yeah, but there's going to be another one where it's Fast and Furious 10, Families Forever. The fuck, who cares? Yeah, it just dwarfed that as well. Just about $205 million. So expect a sequel to be announced faster than you can say, let's go. Yeah, exactly. It's going to have Yoshi. I don't know if this one has Yoshi or not, but that's obviously the next iteration that's going to be out there. And you have just about 40 years of source material, okay? And yes, all the other spin-offs and the story isn't exactly all that complex if you just want to take a look at the side scrollers or even, just the 3D variations. But if you want to do a Paper Mario, if you want to do a Wreck-It Ralph style and Nintendo crossover, like there's so much shit that they can do if they want to, as long as they keep the quality at this level. The box office, it just keeps growing and growing. Marvel's Jim Orr, what? Oh, that's his name. Universal's president of domestic distribution. It's a tremendous worldwide debut, and the movie has a clear runaway. A PG film, which cost Universal Illumination and Nintendo roughly $100 million. That's $100 million. What was it? Some of those MCU crap films that they were getting up to right and butt up against $300 million. $100 million, 90 minutes makes a double that domestically in one weekend. Bro, tremendous. Yes, thrived as the de facto choice among family crowds who have been starved for competition theatrical offerings since December's release of Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Another film that received incredible critical acclaim. Not too sure what I flipped reverse that. The audience loved that film. The people who've seen it apparently thought that it was one of the best animated films that they've ever seen. You know why? Because it didn't belittle the main character, because it didn't retcon their past, because it told a compelling story that has universal appeal about life and death and cherishing what you have instead of just being envious of what you don't. It's almost like universal messaging is popular with people. That's why it's like, okay, you want to redo some stuff? That's fantastic. Tell a good story. People are going to go see. You already have that built-in audience, and if you can grow it from there by telling a different variation of the story, as long as you stick to the morals, values, truths told in the original source material, it's a license to print money. And there used to be a time, it cast your mind back not that long ago, where you'd hear that there was a sequel announced to a movie that you like, and you'd look forward to it instead of just, oh God, no, not again. Or you'd hear a remake of a film from back in the 80s that your parents or your grandparents would talk about with some sort of effusive praise. Probably older than that if it was the 80s, for Christ's sakes, okay? No, but just from, way back in the cut, it's like, oh wow, that could be very interesting, especially with the advancements in technology, instead of just no, the black and white doesn't bother me that much, and that'd be fine if you just left it back there, because you're just going to race swap everybody, you're going to gender swap other characters, and it's just going to be some long trek towards progressivism in the Wild West. It's like nobody wants that. A small subsect of people that work at your studio want that. Nobody else does. It's the same reason that late night shows just suck dick and have for quite a long time. Like at least Jay Leno and later stages of Dave Letterman were fine, inoffensive, still pulling giant numbers. It's because they were actually funny people. They knew what was funny, and their audience didn't have to be prompted in order to just clap like stupid seals. Now, whatever stuffed suit they have in those chairs, all of their writers, their incredible staff of writers, they just all write jokes that are just going to pop themselves, and it just doesn't resonate, okay? The jokes and what is funny on the campuses of UC Berkeley isn't popular with the rest of the world, and they're finding that out in real goddamn time. And like I said, man, are they going to learn from this? No, of course not, because then you have the likes of Huffington Post just saying, no, man, all of the bigots that are out there, you guys, you clearly don't get how important all of our talking points are. Sure thing. Some right-wingers claim Super Mario Brothers movie success is because it's anti-woke. I don't know, man. Like, the pundits that just constantly have their head buried in the sand when it comes to anything except politics, maybe they'll say that it's anti-woke. All I seen was like, okay, you're not pushing an agenda? Fantastic. Apolitical. Tremendous. It's gonna do well. Nobody anticipated it to do this well, but we're here now. So now you can take a look and run an autopsy on it and figure out, oh, that worked. that's a good starting point. Okay, how can we make our next project as successful? Needs diversity. No. Super Mario Brothers movie was a super successful, it still is, likely to be as well, because I don't know what's next on the horizon. Legitimately, I have no idea. And then again, I don't really follow modern Western media like that. It's kind of the only thing that I'm kind of looking forward to, I guess, and it's not going to be for a while, is the House of the Dragon Season 2. But yeah, that's still a year and change off, more than likely. So the animated film sold a whopping $377 million across worldwide. We'll just go ahead and enlarge this a little bit. Why not? Why not? Okay. Its first 5 days, making it the biggest opening in 2023, despite some initial criticism for Chris Pratt. Yeah, because the crew that actually would read Huffington Post unprompted, I just don't like him for the fact that he isn't a devout left-winger and he has Christian values. Yeah, no, that's verboten. But again, he's in what? Guardians of the Galaxy. So by de facto, a big player in the MCU. Jurassic World, even though they're incredibly shit films, especially this run of them, they still fucking make bank. Lots of money. Okay. And now he's the centerpiece of what could potentially be the Nintendo cinematic universe. Bruh. That's why the critics want to hate it so bad. As the voice of the mustached Italian plumber, that's racism. Made famous in the Nintendo video games. Yes, exactly. In addition, John Leguizamo, oh, there he is, who appeared in the 1993 live-action Super Mario Brothers, which is hated by everybody, but a couple of people are going, well, actually, it's not that bad when you compare it to today. I don't know if that's a soft endorsement to that pile of garbage from 93, or just telling you how bad the current state of media is. Take your pick. Criticize the new film for failing to include a Latin character. They're all Mario, Luigi Mario, Princess Peach, Bowser, Donkey Kong. I understand that there's some Mexican chicks that can get awfully hairy, but where's the room? Where's the room in there? Okay, if you need to have a certain zest to your voice in order for you to identify with video game characters, I'm sorry, bro. You've got a one-track mind, and that's why you're a joke. They messed up with the inclusion, Leguizamo told TMZ last week. They disincluded. Just cast some Latin folks, and they're like, nah, we just are on our way, or we're on our way to 1 billion, so go get fucked. We're 20% of the population. What about in the globe, though? You don't know that, because again, it's just a very myopic view. It's just Latins and America. Where did Mario start? What part of America? Point to it on a map. Yeah, exactly. The largest people of color group, and we are underrepresented. Yeah, okay. Leguizamo's frustrations seem to be the source of glee for some in the conservative media, with, small-faced Charlie Kirk, who could definitely play, they could use his head, if they just color swapped it a little bit. In Super Mario World, there were those smiling clouds. They had like a really small smiley face. That's kind of like Charlie Kirk's head. Praising Nintendo because it refused to let Mario Bros. Go woke. But if you also take a look at Nintendo of Japan, it's kind of very emblematic of the entire country of Japan, where they're like, no, this shit's so very stupid in the West. We don't want that at all whatsoever, nothing, anything. Nintendo of America, on the other hand, well, they're a little bit more receptive to these stupid calls, but maybe not after this. Others piled on, some left some people confused, I guess. One person tried to get into specifics of what made Mario Brothers anti-woke, which led to this head-scratching exchange. Yeah, okay, so you picked apart some dorks that are out there. This new conservative appreciation for the film is a far cry from what the trailers first came out last fall. No, they were just kind of like, that's what Mario sounds like. Oh, it sounds like Chris Pratt. That's fucking weird. Okay, I don't know how to feel about that. Back then, some conservative types got into a tizzy because the trailer featured a Rainbow Road. Yeah, in the Mario Kart game, according to the game. What's up, gamers? Yeah, but the gamer is a very left-wing media outlet who I have no idea who they would cite for that. There's Rainbow Road that's out there. Anybody who has played Mario Kart knows that's the final level of the course. And I won't even accept the premise on that one. I don't believe that shit happened. Not at least at a mass scale or anything like that. One person accused the producers of a woke pride flag nonsense into the film. One person. That's your backlash. You got Charlie Kirk and one person. Bruh, you're digging. Others feared the movie would send the wrong message by portraying Mario as a bumbling and pathetic Princess Peach as a girl boss who saves the day. Well, are their fears well-founded? How many times have we seen, okay, and we can just even go back to the initial video the initial article that's right here, because what's coming out also this year? The new Indiana Jones film. Okay, now does Disney, specifically Lucasfilm, have a history of making their male characters seem fucking blundering and bumbling? Do I need to finish that? Or can I just let that, is that just rather more self-explanatory? And in general, if you go back, I would say right to the turn of the century, men have been made to look bumbling and borderline abusers, okay, somebody that you can't take seriously, somebody that you can't trust in all of media at low levels for a very long time. It's just peaked more recently where everybody's starting to wake up to the very deep indoctrination. Oh, why is all the bad guys just always white Scandinavian men? Oh, okay, that's interesting. Oh, yeah. Oh, once again. Oh, yeah. Oh, the cat burglar, the guy who breaks into the house in the middle of the night. Oh, yes, just some cranked out biker. Oh, in downtown Detroit, you say. Yeah, no, exactly. Just rolled off of the trailer parks of South Central Chicago, I'm sure. Talk about the societal divide between Democrats and Republicans, left and the right all of the time. But I don't think, at least at a societal level, there is more of a disconnect than there is between the Hollywood types and the audience. And this Mario film really crystallizes that. And its unmitigated success is definitely a big W when it comes to the greater culture wars, if you will. So nothing but success for that. I ain't going to see that shit. I ain't got no kids to take, and want to party with Mario, I'll just play Super Mario World for like the 8 billionth time. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.